Kings of Europe and adultery with married women, with the husband's blessing and collusion. Imagine stepping into the golden halls of Europe's royal palaces, where marble glistened, chandeliers sparkled, and kings were worshipped as if chosen by heaven itself. Yet behind those glittering walls, the throne often shared its bed with betrayal. Married women surrendered to royal desire, sometimes with the blessing, or even the plotting, of their own husbands. These were courts where power and lust danced together, spawning scandals, illegitimate heirs, and conspiracies that would one day shake entire kingdoms. European monarchs considered themselves above accountability, untouched by the moral laws binding their people. Louis XIV of France, reigned 1643 to 1715, known as the Sun King, openly pursued affairs with married noblewomen, including Madame de Montespan, who was still wed when she became his mistress. Husbands dared not oppose him, silence was safer than ruin. For Louis, personal desire merged seamlessly with royal privilege. Affairs could be weapons of politics. Under Henry VIII of England, reigned 1509 to 1547, some married women at court drew close to him in hopes of securing favor. Their husbands, far from protesting, often gained positions and wealth. In France, Louis XV, 1715 to 1774, rewarded the families of his mistresses with lands and titles. Adultery, when linked to power, became a calculated step toward advancement in the royal hierarchy. By the 18th century, royal affairs in France became institutionalized. Madame de Pompadour, 1721 to 1764, mistress of Louis XV, was granted the title of maîtresse en titre, the official mistress. Though married, she received apartments at Versailles and influenced state decisions. Even France's entry into the 7 Years' War, 1756 to 1763. Her sidelined husband quietly enjoyed the wealth and prestige flowing from her royal status. In Spain, during the reign of Philip IV, 1621 to 1665, noblemen sometimes permitted their wives liaisons with the king in return for lucrative posts. A similar story unfolded in England with Charles II, 1660 to 1685, who openly kept mistresses, including the married Lady Castlemaine. Her husband, Roger Palmer, not only tolerated the affair but was rewarded with the title Earl of Castlemaine. Husbands often bartered honor for influence. Royal palaces doubled as theaters of excess. At Versailles under Louis XIV, masquerade balls blurred the boundaries of marriage and decorum. In England, Charles II's Restoration Court, from 1660, became notorious for hedonistic revels, where wine, music, and married women flowed freely. These parties created fertile ground for secret trysts, turning political centers into dens of intrigue and indulgence. Not all ended in silence. During the reign of Henry II of France, 1547 to 1559, his open affair with the married Diane de Poitiers enraged noble rivals. In some cases, dishonored husbands and families sought vengeance, sparking duels and feuds. What began as personal jealousy could escalate into bloody confrontations that destabilized the fragile balance of court politics. At the Habsburg court of Charles V, 1519 to 1556, mistresses were sometimes pushed into his arms by ambitious families. In France, Madame de Montespan wielded such sway over Louis XIV that ministers resented her influence. These women often secured lucrative appointments for their relatives. Religious critics condemned the courts as corrupt, fueling resentment that later erupted into uprisings such as the French Revolution, 1789. The glaring contrast between opulent courts and the starving masses proved explosive. Pamphlets in pre-revolutionary France mocked Louis XV and Louis XVI for their liaisons, portraying queens and mistresses as symbols of decadence. The public's fury over courtly excess became part of the revolutionary fire that consumed the monarchy in 1789. Scandal was no longer private, it was political dynamite. Catherine de' Medici, 1519–1589, Queen Consort of Henry II of France, struggled bitterly with her husband's mistress Diane de Poitiers, whose influence overshadowed hers. This rivalry poisoned court life and bred conspiracies. Similar tensions appeared in England when Queen Catherine of Braganza, wife of Charles II, endured humiliation from his many affairs. The Queen's jealousy added layers of intrigue to already volatile courts. Royal affairs often produced illegitimate children. Louis XIV fathered numerous children with Madame de Montespan, later legitimizing some and granting them titles. Charles II of England, nicknamed the Merry Monarch, acknowledged at least a dozen illegitimate offspring, including one by Louise de Querouaille in the 1670s. These children, officially linked to their mothers' husbands, embodied the entanglement of lust and politics, leaving Europe's royal legacy forever marked by scandal.